There, hey, and welcome to this weekend pod before the new year of Born to Be a Star. Today is another day and another opportunity for you to recognize your star power, for you to look at your reflection and say to yourself, yes, I can. Yes, I can change my mind, follow through with something, complete something. Yes, I can set a trend, and yes, I can complete something that's important. Yes, I can learn a new language, take on a new hobby, read a new book, work out more, drink more healthier things. Yes, I can decide I want to change my hair color. Yes, I can decide I want to change where I live. I can decide I want to get a new car or I want to sell my car. I can decide that I want to work in a different environment or I don't. The thing is, yes, you can. Typically, things are one way versus another. We have to get better at saying that we can accomplish things, we can defeat things, and we can win. I have to tell my mom all the time, you just have to be willing to recognize the yes you cans. And we're going into a new year, and we need to start the year off correctly and positively. So outside of yes, you can, you should also never give up. If somebody's going through something difficult in their lives, if someone's experiencing something that's not great, you have to be there for them, especially if it's a family member or it's somebody that you love, even if it's your friend. You have to be someone and you have to be the positive person. Sometimes we work in an environment where everyone's negative and people take advantage and people aren't nice, but you can't get stuck in that because you always need to be thinking 5 to 10 years ahead, and you need to think about the fact that you probably won't be there 5 and 10 years. You have to think about the fact that those people still might be at that place with that same mindset, and you are probably not going to be with them. So the best thing you can do is think forward. Never giving up means you don't give up on yourself and you don't give up on people you love, regardless of the difficulty that you're experiencing. You shouldn't give up in the mix of that, right? You shouldn't. Following the never give up is the why not today. Because indecisiveness and procrastination just drives me insane at this point. And I used to be a person that would ask others what I should do or how I should make decisions. And I still end up asking that. And I don't know if because I have a mental issue where I think I need someone's approval to make decisions on my own, but I'm a grown adult. So I need to get away from that. I'm not going to apologize for making decisions, and I'm not going to apologize for living my life the way that I want. Why not today is a wake-up call. You don't have tomorrow. We cannot predict the future, and we can't control time. We also can't buy time. That's not something we have the ability to do. I like to make this joke all the time. The aliens saw Earth and they said, they're strange. They talk about each other because they're different colors. If that's the case, dude, we're not going to be aliens. I'm sorry. Have you actually seen Terminator? There's no way in hell or earth or heaven we're going to beat Terminator. I'm sorry, but we're not. We don't have the ability to buy time. You don't have 5 years to make a decision that's going to affect you in 5 seconds. We shouldn't be looking backwards. We shouldn't base our entire lives on what happened or what could have happened. We should be living our life based on what's happening now, right? And I've made the mistake within the last year, if not more than that, of letting experiences in the past conquer my current or my future. And I'm not doing that anymore. We are going into a new year. So why not today is a wake up call for me. Do the things that you need to do. If something's not working in your house, get it fixed. If something's not working in your life, fix it. If you have errands you need to run, if you need to do multitasking, or you want to do more organization in your house, then do it. Do not wait for permission to do something that's important, because you can't not buy time. That's it. Moving on from the mantra of yes, you can, never give up, and why not today, let's get to some of the headlines. Now, I didn't podcast for an entire week. I basically did a weekend podcast last Saturday, and then I told you I didn't know if I was going to come on a podcast for a week. Well, Christmas came. I went back to work on Tuesday, and it just didn't seem appropriate for me to be not spending the holiday time with my family. There's a lot going on in the family, a lot of great, beautiful things that are happening. People are starting their families and growing their families out. And even at some point, me and Skip will start to have kids as well, and build our nest and do everything that we're supposed to do. And I just wanted a little bit of time to enjoy time with Benny and to enjoy time relaxing. So I took a week off, and I hope you're not mad at me. But during the week that I took off, there was a lot going on with politics. Colorado and California think they can take Trump off of a ballot. It's likely that's going to be shut down in the Supreme Court. That's happening. Joe Biden is still full of the most shit ever, and we know it. I don't know if he's going to be running for election in 2024 because I don't know if he's going to live that long. That man clearly has Alzheimer's and dementia to an extent that's horrible to watch every day. These pro-Hamas, pro-Palestinian idiots running around that don't have jobs and should be deported back to whatever country they came from are really displaying insanity. And now we've talked about it before with them attacking Christmas trees, trying to ruin holidays, taking away the ability to celebrate Christmas in Bethlehem, right? They are monsters, and we can't call them anything else, right? Nikki Haley got what she deserved because she made comments about slavery and she didn't know what to do. She is the problem. Not just her, but all the rest of them too. Do we really think that Chris Christie has anything to offer an American citizen? Like, honestly? That's why Pence stopped. That's why Tim Scott knew it wasn't a good time for him. That's why the other guy that was the mayor or governor or whatever, he stopped too. And that elderly guy with the white hair, he's going too. What are we doing? Now, I find Vivek totally entertaining, so I'm chill with him being there to the end. But let's look at the numbers right now. The numbers state to me that there's going to be one GOP front runner to all these other people. And the reason why Trump didn't go to these stupid debates and the reason he's not talking to these people is because he doesn't need to. He was already the president for 4 years. He doesn't need to explain what he will do because he's already done it. His law that he created that didn't allow Muslims to come in our country for 4 years was the best decision that he had ever made. And I don't want people attacking me because I'm talking about the Muslim religion. That religion is anti-American. I'm saying it. The idea that people of any color or any nationality outside of white want to attack white people is segregation and is racism. DEI is a variation of racism and totalitarianism. These people want power, but the way they want power is not by gaining it the hard way. They just want to take the power. They want to take your tax money and they want to use it on whatever they use it. Why are we paying federal taxes? What the fuck is the money being used for? I don't care about Ukraine. That's going to make some people angry, but I don't. No part of me gives a flying fuck about Ukraine. And you shouldn't care about Ukraine either when you're going to the gas station and you're going to the grocery store trying to figure out how you're going to eat every day during the week and how you're going to get to your job, right? If you're middle America, there are no handouts. Nobody cares for me. I make enough money that they're not going to give me anything. There's nothing I can sign up for. I can't get food stamps. I can't get free medical coverage. I can't get any of that. And you probably can't either. Right? Are we talking the same language? I think we are talking the same language. Basically, what I'm saying is they're creating a situation where they want complete control. They love China. They hate America. Have you heard the governor of Chicago say they don't have enough state and they're talking crap about Ron DeSantis sending all these illegal people to these open states that welcome them in? I really don't want to hear anything from the person in charge of New York. I don't want to hear anyone that's in a Democratic state complain about this stuff. Because when it comes down to it, none of you motherfuckers show up to vote, right? And the Senate is an embarrassment. But the Republicans are an embarrassment too, right? We need to find a way to come together in a way that alleviates any power from Democrats. The Democrats claim that they want to protect America and Americans and our rights. But if you look at how long Joe Biden has been in the White House and how many of our rights don't matter anymore, I think you'll come to the same conclusion that I've come to, which is this. Our rights don't matter. Do you want illegal aliens coined into the same school system as your children? Do you want illegal aliens moving into the same neighborhood you live in, that you work your ass off to live in? Do you want them shopping at the same stores? Do you want them having the same things available to them that you've worked for? Probably not. My husband brought up a valid point in the car the other day. Maybe it was today, maybe it was yesterday, I can't remember. It would be very easy to get our country back the way it was. There would need to be 3 steps. 1, if you're illegally here, you automatically get deported. 2, if you're doing bad things or you're not cooperating, you should be shot and killed. And 3, there's no amnesty. You don't get to come to our country and claim that you are looking for shelter and help. That's not available anymore. America has really let its people down to an extent that no other country does. And we are going to be the minorities in our own country. When I hear Indian people from India or Pakistani people or Iranian people or Palestinian people or people from Jamaica or people from any other country that are not naturally born in America make comments about how they feel about DEI in America, first of all, that tells me that they're really incompetent and ignorant. Second of all, it tells me wherever they were able to get their education from, it's not really education. Third of all, it tells me that they need to go where the fuck they came from and go back there. Because they always want to hype up where they're from. They always want to do this shit where they say, oh, the place I'm from is so great. Then why do you live here? Why don't you live where you originally came from? Like, there was someone that I worked with that was from Kingston, and all she did was brag about how great Kingston was. Then, bitch, why do you live in America? Go live in Kingston. Be there. While we're talking about Kingston, do you talk about all the violence? Do you talk about all the dirtiness? Do you talk about the poverty that's there? That's the main front of these countries, these 8th world slime bags. And America is quite frankly becoming one of them. It's becoming a place that I don't know if you want to live here anymore. Honestly, if I had a plan and I do work with a company that I could be placed in other places with, it might be time for us to figure out a way to get out of here. Like, and I'm not kidding. I love America. It is a great place, but America's gone. It's not that we're losing it. It's that it's lost. We allow people to come into this country claiming that they need some sort of help or they need to be appeased in some way, many of which are men, and there's nothing wrong with them. So they need to be put into the army, and that's it. Like, if they're not going to work for things and they're just going to be given handouts, that's a problem. Also, what's up with the prison system? Why are people that can kill people given the opportunity to get free medical, free food, free jobs, and allowance, and they're predators or murderers or something? Didn't it used to be that if you did the crime, you did the time, you weren't able to get out early by claiming some crap, and you weren't given all these handouts? We got to do away with these social services that are burning this country down. As we look back at the year of 2023, we're forced to deal with the fact that we have people that will not tell you the truth about the economy. They're not going to tell you the truth about Wall Street. They're not going to tell you the truth about the numbers. They're not going to tell you the truth about inflation. They're not going to tell you about the housing crisis. They're not going to tell you about the schools falling apart because of the teacher unions, which is a big ass joke. They're not going to tell you about any of these things. And you know why? Because it doesn't fit with what they're doing. They don't really care about you and me or anybody. They care about themselves, making themselves richer. How are they going to buy all these houses and have all these vacations? And why are they always on vacation? When do these people work? There is a serious problem at the border, and I don't know how they're going to fix it. But they probably need to come together. The blue and the red need to come together to make purple or something. And they need to shut the border down. Because we are putting our lives at jeopardy allowing these people into our country. The reason why all the rules that Trump created were so important is because everyone outside of America hates America. They don't like freedom. They don't like speech. They're making it illegal to say things in Ireland, in the UK, and a bunch of other places. We're going into 2024, and they're still going to do a child tax credit. They're building more apartments in suburban neighborhoods. They're making it even more impossible for my generation to buy houses and create a happy living environment for their children. The wages aren't adding up to the cost of living. Things are really bad. Buying a car, buying a house, going to the grocery store, paying your bills, everything is at a low. Everybody is living paycheck to paycheck. It is only going to get worse. There is no light at the end of this tunnel. They are going to completely try to destroy America and burn it down. We have allowed people to come into our country that should not be here. They shouldn't get school visas. They shouldn't get any of this shit. And we need somebody that's strong enough to shut it all down. We don't have an FBI anymore. We don't have a CIA. We don't have a Department of Justice. We don't have anything. We just have a bunch of con artists in these positions, in these offices, in the army, at these higher up positions that don't really do anything but smile for a camera and are desperately seeking attention. They're attacking Donald Trump because they can't stand the idea of someone that doesn't need their money fighting back against them. I want you to perhaps think about the last time you went to the grocery store. Think about the last time you ordered out food. Think about the last time you had to buy clothes. And imagine how much more it cost that time than it did 4 times before. Even at a thrift store, the prices have gone up. The worst is yet to come. And we're going into a new year. And make a better decision when you go to vote this time. If you're an American and you really care about America, then you understand you cannot vote for Joe Biden. He's a part of an elite con group. He has been scheming off the back of American middle class for his entire career. Him and his brother and his sons, they're all corrupt. His entire family is corrupt. And this is what happens when you give the reins to people that don't need it. They take advantage and they take everything till there's nothing left. This is why there's 14-year-olds killing people in the street and robbing every store that they can. Because there's no consequences. There's no police. There's nothing. This is mayhem. And if you think this is bad, it is only going to get worse. These inner cities, these black communities, these white communities, everything is going to get worse. And anything that you think is important is more important to them. Which is why Target has everything locked up in New Jersey. CVS has everything locked up. They just closed a Walgreens. That wasn't too far away from things that we normally do. They closed it down. We drove past it earlier, and I was shocked because it was a Walgreens part of the neighborhood, but it's closed. Nothing's going to fill that in. I told you that they closed my favorite CVS that was in the center of town. It was my most favorite CVS, and they closed that down too. They're closing Walgreens and CVS. What do you think is next? Target and Walmart. These companies cannot compete with thieves. They're losing millions of dollars. Zulily just closed. Zulily closed. Wayfair's next. These companies cannot compete being robbed. The USPS system is completely demolished. You can't have anything delivered without it getting stolen or something. Honestly, if I'm going to order, I'm just going to have the delivery put in a box and go pick it up with a key or something, because no part of me trusts having things delivered where I live. Like, we are going into something in a place we have never been before as Americans. And I want you to brace yourself for this. These people are going to do anything that they can do to stop Donald Trump for becoming the president of the United States in 2025. It's likely he's going to win. But just as they did the last 4 years, they're going to lie about Russia and anything else that they can. They are going to pretend like that laptop with Hunter Biden didn't exist. And you got that bitch on the 5. I don't even know her name, but I can't stand her. The one with the brown hair. I hope she gets fired just like Horatio or whatever his name was too. These people will not admit reality. If that laptop had to come out during the 2020 election, Trump would be the president. If you continue to keep reality from the people, they don't see what's happening, so they don't know who they're voting for. But this time, that's not the case. There isn't COVID. There isn't a vaccination. There aren't any lockdowns. Everybody can see exactly what Joe Biden has done and his son and all of them. And you know what? They're pretty fucking mad because the gas is going up where they live. The chicken has gone up where they live. The Taco Bell has gone up. And any other restaurant you can think of, it costs 2 times more to eat there than it did a year ago. It's not easy out here. It's rough, man. And then let's not get to the taxes that you're forced to pay every paycheck. I make a lot of money at my job, right? When I look at my taxes, when I look at the amount of money that they take out of my check, every paycheck, and I think about how hard I work at my job every day, right? It's really angering to me. I think that's a lot of money. It's a lot. I don't get it, but okay. So if you're taking my tax money, if I'm paying double inflation at the same time, you gotta understand that if I'm going to vote, I'm probably not going to vote for the person that's making this my reality. These electric cars, nobody likes them. There's a lot of bad shit happening. And everything I just described to you, it coming out that Joe Biden had documentation in his car, in his garage, him not being respectful of everything that happened in Hawaii, whatever, with a lot of it being burned, and then the rich people trying to buy the land and do what they always do, and them trying to cover that over. Or how about the fact that he still hasn't been to East Palestine, right? The fact that they elected in a dumbass who should not be in control of anything, Pete Buttigieg. Or let's not get to Gavin Newsom, who's completely destroyed California. He set out a 10-year plan to destroy it and told you in your face what he was going to do. This is who these people are. AOC is another bitch. That's the part of it. And John Fetterman, he really is not on our side, but he's good when it comes to not doing anti-Jewish things. We really have to open our eyes in coming into this new year. That was just a brief summary of what happened, because there's so much more. Why haven't we gotten all the tapes from you know who with his secret island that they mysteriously killed in a prison? Why is it that these people that are elected into these positions forget the fact that they're elected into these positions? Why did they elect that woman into that position in Maine and then give her the ability to remove someone from a ballot? Just because you don't like something doesn't mean you get to take away my ability to like something else. That's not freedom of speech. That's autocracy. And that's not supposed to exist here. But it does, and it's right in your face. I'm challenging people, including myself, for this year and going forward. I'm not going to be scared to call out people for who the fuck they are. And I'm not going to be scared to talk about politics. I love political conversations. I love political science. I probably should have majored in it in college. but I did my minor was media studies. So I know a lot about this area, this genre, this field, because I did study it very intensely and I took school seriously when I was in it. And I loved it. It gave me the ability to understand commercials, to understand how to target somebody and get them to listen to something, which is why it gives me the ability to have these conversations like this. It's going to get far darker before it gets lighter. But you can't give up, and you have to believe in Jesus Christ. If he got through everything he got through and he was able to take the sins away from us, we have to see the hope here. They're going to do everything they can to take away your freedom. But you have to stand up and you have to fight. And it doesn't matter what color your skin is. And it doesn't matter what street you grew up on when you were 8 years old. It matters that right now we got to fight together. They're coming for us. They're coming for our kids. They're coming for our neighborhoods. They're coming for America. And America has to fight back. Red, white, and blue. The people that created this land understood what could possibly happen if power was misused. That's why they gave us rights. And these people that are going against our rights are going against everything that this place stands for in America. It might be time for us to leave. But maybe it's time for us to stand the fuck up and take back our country. If you're illegal and you're not serving a purpose here, you gotta fucking go. That's it. You don't get to come to America and claim you need help and want to get a 10 and you want all these things and you come here and you get in free living. Like there's people from India coming over here studying all this stuff. Why do they get to come here? No, I think they should stay where they are. I think we need to have an awakening here. There's more outsiders than insiders. And you know what that turns into? Insanity. That's why New York has been taken over by pro-Palestine people. But these people voted for Hamas willingly. I hope that Israel, the Jewish state, the Jewish country of our nation, completely demolishes any trace of Hamas entirely. And I gotta tell you, and I'm gonna say something really brutal, and I'm not gonna apologize for it. If these Palestinian idiots want to get in the way, they're called collateral damage, and I don't give a fuck about them either, because they don't give a fuck about any of the Americans that they killed. They don't care about coming over here and killing us here. These motherfuckers are crazy. These motherfuckers don't care. You need to be fully aware of who we're dealing with. They hate freedom. They hate us. They put us and the Jews together. I will not apologize for believing in Jesus Christ, and I am not going to apologize for being a Catholic, and I am not going to apologize for understanding God's power, his omnipresent being, and the fact that I am already saved and I am a child of God, and I am not going to fucking apologize for that here or anywhere. But I am telling you that these people are evil, and they have one thought: to kill us and to eradicate us. From the river to the sea, that's not anything nice. They don't want to just take that country. They want to take any eminence away that we're there. What do you think the Holocaust was? Wake up. And they want to call Donald Trump Hitler, except they're Hitler. They're all Hitler. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Shifty Shift, AOC, Pramila Jayapal, all these motherfuckers are Hitler. Jamal Bowman unlocking a door and pressing a fire alarm and his ass isn't in jail, right? All these people opening doors for January 6th, but they want to lock up all those people, and they really want to call Donald Trump an erectionist, using the 13th Amendment that has never been used ever before, but now they want to use it. It's a war. You decide what side you want to be on. I'm going to be on the right side of the history, which is the right side, which is the red side. And I'll get my red paint out. Red's my favorite color anyway. So for me, I'm already where I'm supposed to be. You listening get to decide what side you want to be on. Do you want to be free, or do you want to be held captive? Are you free or are you a prisoner? Open your eyes. Open them. Outside of that, it's been a great year. I did start working at a place that I have been trying to get into for a very long time, and I'm excited about the journey ahead. I'm glad that God is giving me the understanding of myself to understand that I am going to want to do something outside of what I started at, and I need to set a path for me to get there. I'm excited about the fact that me and Skip are going to be finally moving on out of where we are currently living into an even better living situation soon. Excited about the fact that we are starting our family soon, and excited about the fact that I don't have to apologize for being me. I think this year I struggled with the idea of having a different thought process or a different opinion or wanting something different for my life. Right? The idea that I don't like Coach because I just think it's tacky, or the idea that I like nice things because I like nice things. Right? I have a Peloton because I wanted one. I have a gym membership because I like being healthy. Right? I have a nice vehicle because I like German stuff. And I'm also German. I think that me, you, and everybody needs to look at our reflections in the mirror and reflect upon our star power. The podcast of Born to Be a Star is created for you to recognize your star power and to recognize your ability to change not just the world, but the entire galaxy. Because light is going to always defeat the darkness. This year has been great. It's been difficult. It's been fun. It's been annoying. It's been long. It's felt like it's never going to end. Don't let anybody steal your joy. Don't let somebody tell you what you can't do. Don't fall into the trap of believing you're not good enough. You're always good enough. Don't fall into the trap of believing you need to be around people that don't deserve your time. Be willing to recognize your greatness, recognize your light, and recognize your ability to do anything. Be willing to be the change and the difference that you're looking for. If you're seriously looking for a change and a difference, it starts with you. Being honest with yourself, not lying, not being in a fake pretend bubble box. The reason we have these detailed conversations about politics, the reason that I talk about topics that you might not find anywhere else, the reasons why we get down to the nitty gritty and we say things and we don't hold back and we express ourselves is because that's all we have. The world is a dark place full of mean, hateful people. And this is just a way for you to break yourself away from that for a moment in time. Your star power is a way for you to recognize your beauty, your strength, your power within yourself. And I dare you to see what I see. See the light that you are. Because the world is full of dark people, dark places, dark times. And it's going to tell you that you don't have anything else. And you can just press that play button and you can hear me say, yes, you can. Yes, you will. 2024 is just another opportunity for you to do anything that you want to do. Going into the new year, I'm going to give my New Year's resolution here on the podcast. My New Year's resolution for 2024 is to become more unapologetic, even more confident in myself, and to recognize my star power, to see where I'm supposed to be, and not get caught up in people and things that are not worth my time. I gave you that example earlier about the fact that I started with a new company that I'm really excited about, but I understand I don't want to stay where I am. So because of that, I'm going to be making a plan for me to get out of that. In this new year, I'm not going to apologize for being great or smart or courageous or intelligent or pretty and beautiful and talented. I'm not going to apologize for having an opinion, and I'm not going to stop my opinion and my thoughts because other people don't like them. And this year, I'm going to take on a new confidence within myself that gives me the ability not to give a flying fuck about anybody else. And I encourage you to take on that too. These people at these colleges, at these jobs, this DEI bullshit, this green new energy crap that they keep pushing, the grocery stores, the people that work in retail that don't have the time to look up to you when you're asking them a question. Instead, they're on their phones. Everything. The idea that they're locking up razors at CVS shit that just could really drive you insane. This year coming into 2024, I'm going to put that all on the side. And I'm just going to be focusing on ways that my life can be incredible. That can include traveling. That could include talking about different things on podcasts. That can include bringing even more guests on. That might even include creating a new podcast. Now, I told Skip that I think we should do this podcast where we talk about things that we remember and things we can't forget. And we should call it 80s Babies. Or something like the 80s were a great thing. And the idea of the podcast would be for us to talk about, like, you know, the games that used to exist back in the day, the music, the food, really the genre of the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, and how that is a time where things happened that people are still talking about now. And the idea that nobody is going to be talking about 2000, 2010, 2020 in 50 years. But they still might be talking about 1970 or 1962. I think that might be an interesting podcast to start up with him, so we'll see what happens. We are going to also be bringing back We Give You the Review in the upcoming year, and I am going to be talking about heavier topics when it comes to politics in 2024. I want to thank you for listening to me for this year of 2023. Thank you for dealing with me and putting up with, you know, sometimes the conversations are longer, sometimes the conversations are shorter, sometimes people are listening to me and sometimes they're not. Nobody's paying me to do the podcast. I do it because I love it. As I told you at the beginning of this, I'm here to give a voice to those that don't have one. I'm here to give a purpose to something that might not exist. And I'm here because there's too many people out here that have something to say and nobody's listening to them. Sometimes you feel lonely. Sometimes you feel happy. Sometimes you feel included. Sometimes you feel disconnected. Sometimes you feel misunderstood. Or sometimes you feel like everything is great. I'm just that person here to talk to you about everything. And I'm just the person to listen. And the person to tell you about things that I have experienced, things that have gone completely wrong, things that have gone really great, times where I can't really complain about anything, and other times where it just feels like, what could possibly be next? 2023 hasn't been the greatest year, but it hasn't been the worst. It really gave me the ability to see what's next and what I can accomplish. So, going into this new year of 2024, I want you to see your light too. If you're not satisfied with your life, find a way to change it. Find a way to make your days better. Maybe you should limit the amount of podcasts you're listening to. I stopped listening to, what the fuck's it called? A lot of political conversations, and I started just living, not because I don't care about politics, just because, like, I'm very passionate about politics, but I'm also fully aware of the fact that these people are as schemy as you think they are. And as much as I want to be on the side of Republicans, I can't help not wanting to really be on a side. Because if they're really going to do these things they're talking about, how the fuck did they allow the Senate to become Democratic? And I bring everything back to politics because politics is really what controls everything. Not just in America, but all around the world. If you really want to be free, you have to understand what's happening. It's been a fun year. I've gotten to make fun of Biden. I've gotten to talk about some really nitty-gritty kind of conversations. People come in your life for a reason or a season. You cannot let anybody steal your joy. And you should be creating any way you can to be as happy as you can be. Let's say farewell and adieu to 2023. And let's get ready for this new year of 2024. Life is lemons. And you have to be capable of making lemonade. Thank you for taking this journey with me this year. I'm looking forward to our journey next year. There's been so many things I've been watching. Me and Skip have been watching After Party. I started looking at that Netflix show. I watched a lot of dating shows this past year. Are You the One? The One on the Boat. Just a lot of fun things. I definitely got caught up with Gordon Ramsay, and I watched all his shows. I stopped at the show called 24. Fargo's pretty good right now. There's just so much to look at. There's a lot on. As far as eating things, trying to eat more at home, trying to get back into making sure we have like a plan for the weeks ahead, deciding what's going to be the meal prep or am I ordering the meal prep. Making those decisions are really important. These are the things that matter most of all, and they are important. Outside of that, you know, you are what you eat. So if you want to live a healthy life, you have to understand what you can and cannot have. You cannot eat cheese pizza every day, and you cannot eat wings, and you cannot eat things that are full of calories and salt or manufactured chips and fast food and McDonald's and Burger King and all these things that are going to kill you and put you in a hospital. You can't eat that all the time. It's going to give you really horrible experiences, and it's going to be a detriment to your health. Now, I have had my own addiction to McDonald's that I have to get rid of, that has led me down a really bad place, right? Me thinking that, oh, it's just a cheeseburger. It's not just a cheeseburger because it's not a real cheeseburger. Real food isn't cheap. It's expensive. Good things don't cost 5 cents. They cost like $50. Like, you're going to have to make different decisions as you start to get older. One, you shouldn't be eating that shit. And two, why do you want to eat that shit? I'm not saying I don't like McDonald's, but I'm saying you can't eat that every day. Right? You can't. Like, have you seen the way they make the burgers at Burger King, McDonald's, and Wendy's? Like, is that really something you want to be filling your face with every opportunity you can? You cannot make these decisions. You're going to have to eat celery. You're going to have to eat carrots. You're going to have to find a way to be healthy. And it might sound scary to get a gym membership or to push yourself. But over this last year, the best thing I found was my trainer named Leah at Anytime Fitness and building a regimen about working out, drinking water, and eating the correct way. There's been times where I've had a slip up or two. I just told you I had an addiction to McDonald's. There's been times where I've had to decide, do I want to do a meal prep or do I want to do the thing that gets ordered and delivered with me, right? Mighty Powerful Meals. I've gone back and forth between that and trying to figure it out. Regardless of that, though, I'm very grateful for everything that I've experienced this year, good and bad, and I'm looking forward to whatever's next. Thank you for taking this step with me with Born to Be a Star, and let's get ready for the next part of the ride in 2024. Don't forget that you are a star wherever you are, and I can see your light in the darkness because you are the light. Together, brothers and sisters, we are going to make it different. We're going to change everything, and we are going to bring light to the table. And the only thing that can conquer and defeat the darkness is us, because we are the light. In you, I see everything that I am, and everything that I am is you. We, us, them, they, together, all of us. Shades of skin, variations of hair textures, variations of teeth and noses and arms and legs and fingers and eye colors. We are unstoppable. We are timeless, and we are never ending because we are light. I dare you to see that light that I see in you, and I dare you to see in me what you are. Light. From a star to a star. Thank you for tuning into this New Year's, Old Year's special edition of Born to Be a Star. Don't forget, you are a star if you are. And I will see you tomorrow, Monday, in 2024. And by the way, I was going to go out and do all this stuff and go to a casino and spend a lot of money and do a lot of things, but I think we're just going to chill and binge watch a show and order something out. We'll see what happens. I hope that you are safe and you're smart about going places, especially in this crazy ass environment with all these people killing people and robbing them. And I hope that you're doing something you like. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the first day of 2024. Thank you for taking this ride with me in this year of 2023. And don't forget that you are a star wherever you are. You are the light in the darkness. And I see you. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Bye.